Howdy ho, Lions fans. Welcome to the Detroit Lions podcast. This is episode 577. The Detroit Lions are still looking to launch. This is the official Detroit Lions podcast for Reddit. I am your dashingest of hosts, Chris. And with me is my, well, we can't tell about the coif today, so he's well-capped friend and co-host Jeff the Riz Risen. How you doing, buddy? Well-capped.
Yes. I just got out of the shower and I didn't have time to do the hair, so it's a hat day. I'm doing well. I got the film review session out of the system today, and that was not a fun work day. Let me tell you, it's honestly, I do feel kind of better. And we'll talk about why, because there were some things that I took away that weren't as negative on second watch as they were on first, but there were also a couple things that were like worse the more you watched it. So we'll get into all that.
Okay.
I'm happy. I'm happy to be done with that. And I did the, I do a general film review every week, and then I also spotlight one player. My spotlight this week is on Tate Ratledge. Spoiler alert, it's not good.
Yeah, we'll talk about all of that. We got the Packers game recap. We're going to do some key takeaways from week one. We're going to look around the North and talk about what else is going on in the NFC North. Also, FTB, we're going to preview and make picks for the Lions and Bears game. We're going to talk a little bit more than normal about that leading into it. There's a lot of history lined up, and it's some good matchups. And we've got some fresh intel because we've got to see them play. So we'll talk about all that and a whole lot more. Riz, are you ready to go, my man?
Let's do it.
Let's kick this off and break it down.
All right. So, Riz, tell me about it. How's everything going? You feeling good? You ready for some football? Lions did nothing like we thought they would do. This was absolutely a different team on the field than what was expected. Oh. All predictions were broken, and ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It was bad. There's no sugarcoating it. You can't put enough, there's not enough lipstick to put on that pig.
Yeah.
It was bad, man. The Packers, and everything has to be prefaced with this. The Packers played really well.
Yeah.
And that's a good football team. My cap to them. I did not think that they would be that sharp that quickly.
Let me quote someone because I think this is probably the best quote I saw today. You may have seen this. The Lions came ready to play football, and the Packers came ready to play the Lions. And some guy, Hefe Rizdone, Giacomo Rizdone, something like that. Giacomo. That guy said it, and I was like, "Holy shit! This is exactly it." The Lions were just ready to play football. They were obviously not prepared, and I lean on the coaching staff. Gray touched on it in his video earlier today, which was absolutely good stuff. I would highly recommend you check that out. They just weren't ready. They just were not ready to come out there and face a team like the Packers, and the Packers had. There's probably a little bit of emotion for the Packers from getting beat at home. What was the last 4 times, and in close games sometimes, and humiliated. There's some pent up rage because the Lions aren't supposed to beat up on them. And last year, everyone did like we were supposed to. We were ball dragging the other teams, especially the ones in the North, and that really hurt. And we were hated. Lions fans were finally hated because they had a good team and they were crowing about it. And this is the other side of that. This is the other side of that.
They get their payback.
Yep.
It clearly meant more to the Packers than it did to the Lions.
Yes.
And that's disappointing. Very disappointing. And just my initial thought when I was watching, and I did this off the first 3 drives of the game for each team, is when I put that out on social media. The Packers knew what was coming from Detroit. And Detroit did no Green Bay specific game planning. And some of that was that they didn't really do any opponent specific game planning at all in the preseason or even in the the joint practices. I know they didn't against the Texans, but if you're not going to do preseason, and I don't blame the Lions for not playing their starters in the preseason. By the way, the Packers didn't either. So throw that excuse out. The Bengals did all season, and they should have lost to the Browns. The only reason they didn't was because the Browns kicker sucked. He missed an extra point and a gimme field goal.
Yep.
You need, when you've got a new play caller in John Morton, to let him understand and try to attack a defense that's not Detroit's defense. That's really what that offense looked like. Was, okay, this worked against our defense, so therefore it will work against everybody else's. And that's not what Green Bay did. And it felt like they couldn't adapt to that very well. And that's bad. It's very Anthony Lynn to go back in time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talk about that. Oddly, other than kind of the end of the game, it was pretty close. I mean, if it wasn't for just like the pick, there's a couple of plays, and very much a game where the Lions were still in it, even though they weren't executing. And so there's some hope to be built on that, right? Because they weren't hitting on all cylinders on either side of the ball, yet they were still in that game for a very, very long time. They can build on that. There's a few things to clean up in that way, and I think you just swallow it, and move on. I will say again, I said it before the game. There were some people that were critical about me saying it because you can't blame a loss on that. I didn't blame the loss on that. I said it before we even played. There should never be division games in the first week of the season for anybody, and it's either everybody or nobody. But I think what happened, and I think the NFL might learn something here. Because I've talked to a couple of people who watched their teams lose in a disgusting fashion. Giants fans, how you doing? Watch their teams lose in a disgusting fashion early on Sunday, and then they're friends, so they'll watch the Lions game, and then we lose, and they're just like, fuck this, I'm done. And they missed an absolutely fantastic Buffalo-Baltimore game because they were just burnt. And I think the NFL, it's interesting, on a division game, it hurts more because you really are rivals with those people. And when you lose, it burns a little deeper. It burns a little more. I bet viewership isn't as high as an opening game on Sunday night as normal. Don't know the ratings, but I have a feeling that might have affected it just based on my very limited data set. Don't do division games.
Yeah.
You those games sell anyway. You don't need to cloud up the first week with that. It doesn't make sense.
That's exactly right. You don't need to do that, and that's not just a Lions thing. The Cowboys and Eagles shouldn't be playing in the first week. Yeah. The Rams the Rams played the Texans. The Seahawks and 49ers shouldn't be playing in the first week. Like it's just dumb. This is when you get your, Pittsburgh versus Arizona. Yeah. Rams Texans is actually a pretty good matchup. By the way, that game was awful too. Both of those teams are allegedly contenders, and they sure didn't look like it either. Yeah.
We heard after the Friday game that, is it over for Kansas City? Is it all done? I mean, and I'm like, has this mentality carried forth? Has this like clickbaity, we've got to make it an emotional kind of roller coaster on week one, like carried to everybody? Yeah. It seems like this is a bigger boiling pot than normal this year, and people are cashing out hard on good teams. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's way too early for that. By the way, no more Friday night games. Just don't do it. I was at a high school football game. It was a fantastic game. I saw Zeeland West beat West Ottawa on the last play of the game on a Hail Mary where 3 West Ottawa defenders jumped up and tipped the ball to a Zeeland West duck in the end zone. That's how you win state titles. So when I got home, I do concessions. I love doing concessions. I got home. I was like tired. I smelled like hot dogs. And I'm like, I don't want to watch any football. It's already in the second half. I looked at the score. I'm like, okay. It doesn't look like it's that great of a game. I looked at social media a little bit. I'm like, no more Friday night. Come on, man. If you're going to do Friday night games, at least do it after high school football's done.
Yeah.
Please.
Don't poach your future players. The eyeballs from your future players, right? Just
think of all the fans. Think of all the high school fans that they're missing out on by opening up on that. Because I will tell you, our stands were full. I know at a couple other stadiums, the stands were full.
Mm-hmm.
Rockford Muskegon playing. My God, like, yeah, there's going to be 5,000 people there that aren't watching the NFL who would be normally.
Yep.
Bad idea. So there's a lot. Look, the schedule. My other big bugaboo, since we're on the schedule, the entire division needs to be on the bye at the same time,
Yep.
and then you come out of that weekend where the entire division is off, and then you have divisional games.
That would be fantastic. Yeah.
Detroit and Chicago play, Minnesota and Green Bay play, and then the next weekend you flip them.
Mm-hmm. Like a smaller version.
That is my dream.
Like a smaller version of college ball, right? Where you play you play a couple of, I don't call them meaningless because they're meaningful, but you play a couple of big widespread kind of games early, and then you come in, you have your division games, right? So whenever your break is, after that you have the division games. That would be that makes a lot of sense. I like that. And
I have brought that up. I brought that up to Pat Kerwin. He's like, that's been brought up in the competition committee before, and it goes nowhere. And he didn't know why, and I didn't know why either. So
they don't know football, these people.
I will continue to fight the good fight on that because it makes way too much sense. And now if they're going 18 games, and the NFLPA claims it's not, but it's going 18 games.
Yeah. Well,
that's a mandatory add to the schedule.
If these guys knew what they were doing, they'd be making money. And so that's all I got to say about that. All right, let's stick to this game.
Fair point.
Isaac Tesla, man, he already a lot of love out of camp for the kid, right? It's such a great story. And here he rolls out with one of the best all-time catches in the NFL. I mean, am I wrong in saying that?
Catch of the year.
Yeah. But like all time, like OBJ's, I don't think OBJ's was that good. The one-handed that everyone
OBJ's was further in bounds.
Yeah.
It was a spectacular catch.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But Tesla getting the body contorted down in the order that he got it down so it was legal. Oh my God. That's incredible. What a play. And for that to be effectively the end of the game, like that at least gives you something positive to take away.
Yeah.
Like they didn't quit. The rookie can ball. He only played, I believe it was 3 snaps. I know he was wide open in another red zone one. Now it was one of those where he's on the backside and Goff was looking over to the other side the whole time. So like he wasn't, like the defense probably wasn't paying super close attention to him. So, but he looked ready. If he's making plays like that, Leafing will be playing a lot more.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the thing I think about with this one, and it sucks because it's game 1 and divisional, but the Lions do put a turd on the table about 2 times to 4 times a year, where it's just a game where nobody executes. You know what I mean? Like, remember the Baltimore game last year, which is a tough game to do it,
Yeah.
and you can't not, blame Baltimore for being good. That's not, I'm not saying that at all. But
Right.
Here's a team that won 15 wins last year and played like they were like the Bears. I mean, it was terrible. I mean, they looked, it was humiliatingly bad. Sorry, couldn't help it. But it was humiliating, right? And it's very much.
Yeah.
They have this tendency to put these absolute turds out there, and hopefully, again, we're trying to draw a line with a single point. Right. But hopefully that's the case here, that it's just we dropped a turd. We've got, 4 games in a row. You need 4 games in a row based on the next 4 you got on your schedule.
Yeah. And Chris, you brought it up, it wasn't a lopsided game. And Dan said it after the game. He's like, it felt like we just didn't make the plays that were there, or something to that effect. And he was right. Like, we were right there with them. But the little things, like Anzalone dropping the interception, like Craig Reynolds getting called for a penalty on the Jack Fox punt when he was reacting to a Packer who was well across the line, and they called it on Craig, and it cost us 30 yards in field position. Like, the little things like that, nothing went their way.
Yep.
Just little JMO on the run that he had, he steps out of bounds. Like, he had a first down if he didn't step out of bounds, or he was very close to it. But stepped out 8 yards earlier. Like just the little things weren't sharp.
Yeah.
And you can maybe get away with that when you're playing Cincinnati or I know there's not a lot of easy ones on the schedule. Maybe Chicago, based on what we saw last night. I think you can probably beat them without having your A game. But you can't beat good teams. And one of my takeaways from this was that I downplayed in my mind what Green Bay is. That defense, even without Kenny Clark in it, did a really good job. I thought Edgerrin Cooper was the best player on the field for either team, better than Micah Parsons. He was incredibly impactful, and that wasn't on their tape. Like he was good last year as a rookie, don't get me wrong, but he didn't have that like game-changing style, and he did. Some of that, again, was the Lions didn't do a very good job of blocking, period, specifically blocking at the second level. And that obviously makes it easier for him. But, Green Bay, I don't want to give ammo, but it felt like Matt LaFleur coached a really, really good football game.
Yeah.
And outcoached Dan Campbell in this one. And I don't expect that to happen again, but it's on tape now. So it is what it is, man. You got to own it. They were the better team on Sunday.
They absolutely were. They were able to execute. This is maybe just me being a grumpy old man, but the blowjob that Micah Parsons got, at some point, you feel like they had to stop. Like there's someone in the comments that said, look, Cooter.
Careful.
Oh my God. Johnny Morton ain't it. Obviously, like again, we're trying to draw a line with 1 point, but obviously he isn't it, and it's over. You got to change, you got to adjust. Man, the broadcast had to adjust. I mean, yes, he got a sack, but it was way late in the game. Like it got pretty old, and they rang that rag pretty hard for a guy who had. Look, I know it's a big name. I know it's a lot of money. I know he did get a sack, but he had a relatively mediocre game, right? I mean, he wasn't super impactful. He didn't play a lot of snaps. No, he was no more impactful than the defense as a whole. Let me put it that way.
Right. Who got the interception for them?
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't, and I should.
His name's Evan Williams. He made a fantastic play. He picks that pass off, absolutely, whether Penei Sewell gets beat by Micah Parsons or not. Mm-hmm. The broadcast didn't mention him.
No.
Didn't give him any credit. Everything was about Parsons. Like the dude made a fantastic read, react, click and close play. The Lions offense was a little predictable there, but to his credit, he made the play that was there. The Lions weren't doing that.
Yep. The
broadcast completely ignored him. He gave all the credit to Parsons on that play. He got a win. He probably gets credited for a pressure on it. Wasn't consequential to the play.
Yeah.
That bugged me.
Yeah.
That always bugs me when the broadcast does that and it ignores the contributions that used to happen all the time. The season that Golden Tate played with Calvin Johnson, and they never gave Golden Tate any credit at all for being good in his own right. They're always talking about how much Calvin impacted the play, and maybe he did.
Yep.
But give Golden some love too, man.
Well, I don't know if you saw it in the Buffalo game. James Cook had that wicked run, and was it Romo? No. Who was doing it? Who's Collinsworth?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that was all Josh Allen, and it's like he handed the ball.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He handed the ball.
He threw a little pass, and Cook goes sashaying through the defense. Got a couple of really nice downfield blocks. You'd never know who that was.
Yeah,
that's annoying.
Yep,
be better.
Okay. Anyway, so that's that. The Lions were outplayed, and that's that. There's doomers. They're everywhere, right? This was probably the most righteous one. Jake, I blame this one on Risden. He said the Lions were better, and they weren't. Why did you lose this game, Jeff Bob Cooter?
I mean, I was wrong. I thought the Lions would be better, and they weren't, and it's frustrating.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that I don't think that they're going to win. I still think the Lions are going to win the division. It's going to be harder now.
Yeah. It's not time to help pull the fire alarm. That's the thing.
No.
And if you're pulling the fire alarm right now, you're either a troll or you're not that bright. We'll put it that way, because that you can't make a decision on week one. Week one is like you see some of the dumbest games. Some of them are real. Some of them are real and indicative of
Miami really sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're bad.
Oof. Man.
It helps put into context how dominant the Lions were in practice against them. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Danny Dimes carved them up. They never once tried to cover Tyler Warren in that game. Like, that's a pretty good tight end.
Yeah.
Makes sense now why Sam Laporta and Brock Wright just absolutely annihilated them.
Yeah.
Some things. Okay.
How would you like to be in that O-line room this week?
Can we talk about the PFF Panay score?
I didn't see it, but I've got, please.
So the initial post-game grade, like that they give on Sundays, like right afterwards, he was in the 50s. And that actually feels pretty accurate based on his game. But they jacked it up to where he was the Lions' best offensive player. That's not congruent with what happened on the field. And they're, again, Panay had a rough game. And it wasn't just against Parsons. When he came into the league, the biggest weakness that he had was his inside shoulder in pass protection. And he lost on that more than just to Parsons in that game multiple times. And that's bad because, to be honest, Panay didn't have the best summer. He wasn't dominant. Some of that we chalked up to Hutch being great. And Hutch, we'll get to Hutch in a minute. But maybe he was too worried about Tate Ratledge to the inside. Tate did not have a good debut game. He looked like a rookie playing in a massive game on the road in his first test. I very strongly expect that he will be better right away. But he's not going to be perfect. And he's not going to be Kevin Zeitler this year, probably. But he'll get better. He'll get passable enough that it will be fine. Glasgow. Ooh.
His PFF grade is unmentionable. Only Sewell had a grade better than the worst grade in the line last year.
Wow. Yeah. And I disagree with their grade on that because he did not have a great game. I thought it was his worst game that I've seen from him in a couple of years.
Yeah.
He had a really bad game the Thanksgiving that they lost. I believe that was Buffalo. He did not have a good game in that one. And this was down there with it. Glasgow had the second field goal drive that the Lions got. He was great. The rest of the game, he was not. Leave it at that. Yeah. Mahogany looked like a guy making his third career start.
Yeah.
Had some very nice plays, had some plays where, oh, crap. And Decker, he had a Decker game, a classic Taylor Decker game where he's pretty good enough for like 90% of the time. But the 10% to 5% of plays where he's not good, they always seem to come at a bad time and they're catastrophic losses.
Yeah.
That's who he's been his entire career. And he's done a better job of leveling those out, but this was one of those games again. And I think, again, some of that is that he was a little bit more concerned with the guy to his inside shoulder than the guy lined up across from him. Yeah. And I hope that changes. I hope that Hank Fraley can get that under control. I hope that the tight end coach, Tyler Rell, will have some more input in that because I did not like – one other takeaway that I had, I didn't like the way that the tight ends were asked to block in this game.
I don't like how the defensive ends were asked to cover in this game, but go on.
Oh, Chris.
Talk about the tight ends first. I just wanted to get, since we're talking end of the line and what they're doing. I'm not sure.
I want to see them fire out and not. It felt like they were catch blocking. That's not where Brock Wright and Shane Zylstra especially are going to win. They need to go out and engage under their own terms, and they weren't the aggressors on those. Again, some of that, tip your hat to Green Bay. They knew how to attack it. It felt like Detroit didn't counter that very well.
Yeah.
Now get to the little bleep and bleepity bleep, drop and bleep, bleep, bleep.
Well, that's my number one takeaway for the week. Don't drop Hutch into coverage, please. I know he was an interception machine. I recognize that. Let him get a sack first. When your kicker has more tackles than your star defensive end, you've got a problem. Don't put him in coverage. Let him, force him to eat. That's what he needs. This, like, game one coming back, a mediocre game like that where he's really not effective at all is actually really bad. You want him to come back and feel like he's not missed anything. He's right back in the groove, right? Now, Hutch is the kind of guy that's going to take this as fuel, right? But this is not how you want to set a guy up. This is just not how you want to do it. And it was really frustrating. I mean, offense, defense, the line play on both sides. We've spent so much on those lines, and I know people think we haven't done anything about the offensive line. The whole thing with Frank is, you want to be nice to him because everyone likes him and he was a good player and all that, but it's really frustrating how that was handled, right? That hurts. That hurts, right? And it crushes plans for how you're gonna build your stuff up. But this was beyond even that. I mean, across the board, beyond even the lines, but the lines in particular, I don't know that anybody really played at their level of talent.
No, I'd agree with that. Just to go back to the Hutch, and they also dropped Davenport in on a 3rd and 12, I think it was. If you're dropping them, freaking blitz. Send 2 guys. Yeah. The first one where Hutch dropped, they blitzed Jack Campbell on a delayed A-gap blitz, and he ran into Marcus Davenport.
Yep.
Campbell had a rotten game. I think that's gotten glossed over a little bit. He wasn't good.
I've seen the memes like crazy of no Ben, no AG, and he's standing there working at Applebee. I mean, there's a million of them. Gray, again, in his video brought them up. They're fantastic. But the memes are all over about Campbell. The Lions fans aren't holding them accountable yet. And I think actually Lions fans are probably more intelligent about it on this one because, again, 1 point. But boy, this is not how you want to start the season. And it's then again, the other side of it is Lions are vicious when they're underdogs, and they put themselves in a hole.
Their back is against the wall,
yep,
and they're going against somebody that the players, especially the offensive players, are incredibly motivated to embarrass and humiliate.
Yep.
I really hope that comes to fruition.
Yeah. Easy does it. Great. This is great, and it's such a juxtaposition for longtime fans. It was hard to watch that game, especially with what we're used to. We're used to it. We're used to good play. Riz, we're used to good play.
We are. We really are. We've been spoiled. Yeah. I know my good friend Jim Costa, Cookies from The Ticket, tweeted out that it only took 40 minutes into the Monday morning show before somebody called in to fire Holmes and Campbell. No, that's not the answer.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the way. I had hoped that we as a fan base were beyond that. We're apparently not.
I'm hoping that was somebody from production studio calling because the phones weren't lit too bright that day.
I don't know, man. Like some of the reaction, and I am a big believer in the 24-hour rule. Even in like rollicking victory, like let it cool a little bit before you make any grandiose statements one way or the other. I violate that rule. I know I do, but I try very hard to adhere to it, and I'm trying, man. Like Samuel L. Jackson, man. I'm trying.
It's been a long time
to be the shepherd.
We had a tough end of the season last year, and then I watched the Commanders and the Giants play, and it was tough. It was really tough to see that game again and watch them play again. And then
the Giants are bad.
Yeah, I know. And then to go right into the Lions game and see that, I was like, for God, what in the world, man? What am I watching? It was really tough. That's tough.
So, can we spin something very, very forward and call our shot very early? I think both Brian Dable and Mike McDaniel are getting fired. And if it doesn't work for John Morton, everybody in the world is going to be like, which one of these guys do we hire?
Yeah.
Give me Dable.
Wow.
I'll make that proclamation now. Next Senior Bowl. If it doesn't work this year, and Morton still has a whole lot of time. It's one game. There could still be 20 more. This Lions team can still go to the Super Bowl. I absolutely still believe that. And I think Morton's going to do a better job of preparing for a specific opponent from now on. I think he'll have a better grasp of things. I think Campbell will also assert a little bit more influence. We've seen him do that before.
He's doing it this week.
But, yeah.
This is a short leash early in the season, right? And Dan he's pulling out the wheelbarrow and he's putting some nuts in it and he's going to walk those out on the field. This is going to be a lot more Dan, and this is going to be interesting because knowing that this is more Dan involved, what is the change and what happens?
Right.
This is going to be
fun to watch.
Yeah. And
watch it play out.
Yeah. It's crazy. So anyway, there's the takeaways. The number one takeaway, I think, besides don't put Hutch into coverage, please, is this is just one game. I've seen people melt down after games before. Like the Baltimore game last year was one of not my favorite meltdowns, but it was an absolute meltdown against a great team. I mean, we just completely laid a turd out there. People were like, yep, it's over. It's over, right? They were absolutely cashed out, and we made it, all the way deep into the, number one team in the conference, the whole thing. This is one game. And after we beat the Bears, spoiler alert, you're going to see the whole other side of it. You're going to see the whole other side of it. And then the people that are trying to save face will be talking about, well, Green Bay's probably going to win the division, right? That's where they'll backtrack to. But
they might.
Yeah.
They look good. They really did look good.
Yep. So there we are. That's the key takeaways from week one. That's the Packers repack. We're on there. Let's do a quick look around the division. Makes it really easy this week since it was another division game. Yes. Talked a little bit about the Bills and the Ravens being one of the most exciting games of the week. The second most exciting game was the Bears and the Vikings, I think. What a game. It was I didn't want anybody to win, but it was a fun watch just from a football perspective, right? I wanted a meteor to hit the stadium, but whatever.
Yeah. The Tampa-Atlanta game was exciting as well, but this was certainly more pertinent for the Lions fans. And I think a lot of Lions fans, there's a lot of cross-pollination between Lions fans and Michigan Wolverines fans, so everybody's curious about J.J. McCarthy. Everybody has opinions about J.J. McCarthy. And again, it's too early to validate or invalidate any of those. But for one night, his first night in the spotlight, he was up for the challenge. I'm proud of him for that.
I was really impressed with the resilience he showed out there. And once they figured it out, they absolutely figured it out. Like they just, when this game started, I was like, I don't know if the Vikings suck worse than we thought, or we were all wrong about the Bears. But in retrospect, and thinking about it in day two, or the light of the next day, I think about it, and everyone's high on the new coach. Everyone's high. It's the home opener. There was, all the excitement going on that day. Monday Night Football, right? Everything was there. And they came in, and I think they probably just peaked early. And they had the traditional Ben Johnson third quarter, and everything from there just flipped. It went tits up. And JJ and Kevin O'Connell. By the way, when he's wearing his helmet, I swear to God, JJ is Kevin O'Connell's son. But anyway,
yes.
Minnesota suddenly became highly competent, and it was interesting to watch.
They've got a good coach. Nothing but respect for Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
That's a well-coached team. I still think the Lions are better. Bring them on. Let's do it. But yeah. And this was and somebody brought it up in the Slack last night. It might have been Gray. I don't remember who it was. Whoever did it, take credit, take a bow for it. And they talked about how Ben is really great when it was scripted. Like the first 2 or 3 series of the game on both sides of the ball were scripted, and that's where Chicago dominated. And then after that, they were lost. Like lost.
Yeah. Watching
and that was where Kevin O'Connell took over the game.
Yeah. Yeah. This is almost the setup. You know, I talked about they're going to be excited early. This is my prediction for the Bears arc, the season arc, right? They were going to be excited early, but they were going to trip over some things, and they were going to start to feel the pressure. And Ben's not good under pressure. Like, he doesn't treat other people well when he's under pressure. And he's already.
That's exactly right.
Yep. And he's already very much someone who, I forget who it was. A player was like, yeah, he'll say something to you, and it's like, he's got a smile on his face. I don't know if he's like talking mean shit or he's like just joking around or whatever, and then he'll come back later and it's like nothing never even happened. And that's Ben in a nutshell. And it gets more so when the pressure comes on. And so get this loss. This was a tough one. Everybody in that stadium at halftime saw the Lombardi Trophy in Chicago this year. They immediately had these delusions of grandeur of how amazing they were. They finally got it all. And then the third quarter happened, and the wheels came off the wagon. And now, from being this high, the smash to the ground, and the media and the fans in Chicago are not a fantastic bunch of people. They're not on the list of they're not really big on my Christmas card list in that city, just because they're not generally as nice as folks in Detroit and other places. But that seat's gonna get hot fast, and the pressure's gonna happen, and then that's when the implosion starts to burn. And as the season goes on, as we see some of these start happening, you're gonna watch the Bears. If they lose to the Lions, and I'll tell you what, if they lose in like the same manner to the Lions, they might be ready to fire him already. It's just that fan base is insane.
I think Ben will be very actively looking for his scapegoat.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, Chris, that's in character with what he does as well.
Fill out 3 envelopes, right?
6 or 7.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting to watch the Bears. That's my prediction in the arc. I think their expectations were way too high, and they should have tempered them. We talked about it last week. They haven't, and then it blew up. Like I said, at halftime, they were already buying tickets for the Super Bowl, and now they looked absolutely
Chris, we know how that goes,
incompetent.
because you and I were sitting in a hotel room in Mobile watching the Lions and the 49ers play a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And we were like, how can we coordinate so our flights land in San Francisco at the same time, or wherever the Super Bowl was at the same time? And then the darkness came.
Yeah. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Man, this is going to be fun.
We'll get it. By the way, the 49ers also choked a winnable game away. Jake Moody, no. Preemptive no to all Lions fans on Jake Moody. He got cut. He got cut for a reason.
How about Prater? Again, going back to the Bills game. What? My man, dude. My man.
Did you have any doubt he would make that kick when he walked in?
None.
I didn't either. Yeah. I knew it. I'm like, this game's over. He's got it. Good for him, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, Caleb will be a scapegoat. That's probably true. I don't know.
I'm not sure that Ben can win that power play.
Well, that's right. Being first overall, I'm not sure he outlives it, but Caleb will be the scapegoat. Even if Ben's gone,
it will be Caleb's fault.
Yeah. Well, it'll be both of them.
Ben won't be wrong when he blames him.
Yeah.
But they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, but Caleb stays. Ben's gone, and then they still have the same problem. You can't, as a quarterback, that's the hard part, right? When do you see a quarterback other than Danny Dimes this week? When do you see him come back from something like that? I mean, Justin Fields, Biscuit, like.
By the way, Justin Fields had a great game for AG. They lost the game. Pittsburgh wound up being the better team, but I thought AG did a better job of coaching his team than Ben Johnson did of coaching his team, even though they both lost. Both close, agonizing losses. That was actually a really good game too. That was a compelling watch.
Yeah.
The Jets and Steelers game. I was on that one for a while.
I love it when you get sausage chokers in the chat trying to rile people up, and they're just sitting there dangling bait with, like, they're holding their cock in the hand at the strip club and can't even get a lap dance. All right, let's anything else around the division? Let's talk about Minnesota. How do you think? I mean, they did not look good early, but that's kind of the treachery of game one. They seem to be able to pull it together. Was that an absolute collapse by the Bears? Was that an absolute bringing it together by the Vikings?
Know what? I'm going to put more of that on the Bears and the Vikings, and that's not meant in any disrespect to the Vikings, because as you know, Chris, I think they're the second best team. I think they're better than Green Bay. I still think they're better than Green Bay, even after what we've seen in week one. But that was a Vikings team that was smart enough to let the Bears beat themselves. And they're very well coached in that regard. I thought their defense getting a little more blitzy in the second half helped some. I think the way that they attacked Caleb changed how Caleb saw things, and that's smart. It's a good football team, man. There's two legit NFC contenders besides the Lions in this division, in my opinion. That makes it so when we go, obviously we can't go 6-0 this year. So we go 4-2 in the division.
Yeah,
I'll probably be okay with that this year. I'll say that now. And then when we have to win the last game to get to the 4-2, I might be sweating a little bit. But yeah,
that'll definitely be different. 4-2 in the division. That's not what anybody's looking at and used to. Oh man.
Yeah. And again, and this is something that you have to learn to do as a great team. You're going to get every other team's best shot every week. You saw it with Philadelphia. They almost lost to Dallas. That's not a good Dallas team. Sorry, Cowboys fans. It's not.
That was.
But they gave everything they had to win that game. And Philly has to deal with that every week. Detroit now has to deal with that. We're not used to that.
Yep.
And I don't think Dan Campbell's used to that. And that's something that he is going to have to adapt to. And I trust that he will. But it's going to make things different and more difficult. That's just the facts of life and being the upper tier of the NFL. The Ravens have done a fantastic job of dealing with that. The Chiefs have done a fantastic job of having the bullseye on their back every game, every year. And they will shake off a loss. Like, next game, let's go. That was their mentality. You heard it in their post-game press conference, not just from Andy Reid and Mahomes, but all the other guys too. Like, okay, it's one game, let's go on. That's where the Lions have to be if they want to be the team that we all think they can be. Or I hope we all still think they can be.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man, a lot of stuff going on. Caleb doesn't seem to have the mental toughness needed to be a quality NFL quarterback. Interesting. He missed some pretty simple throws. I was surprised at the quality of their offensive line, to be honest with you. They really stepped up from where they were year over year.
Jonah Jackson played well.
Yeah. I mean, you're only going to get him for another week and a half, but across the board, their line really, really played well. I was impressed.
Yeah, their tight ends are good too. I thought they did a good job. I thought DeAndre Swift, God bless him, ran like he wasn't afraid. We didn't see that nearly enough in Detroit.
Like he wasn't made out of glass. What the hell happened? How was he broken here all the time? Is the water in Detroit low calcium or something?
He's still a speed back that doesn't have speed, but that's their problem now.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He
It
played
was
a good game though.
When the Lions drafted him.
He played a good game
well.
with what he has in the tank. He exploited it very, very well. And
Yes, I'd agree.
it's I've never disliked him. I've disliked his availability, and I dislike his availability even more now that he's on the other team. Oh man! All right, we got one more topic to talk about. A little bit deeper than normal. FTB, you've heard of them, the Bears, previewing the game against the Bears. Let's talk about it. There's a lot to look at here. Just from a PFF factor, Jonah Jackson, you've heard of him. His score, 31. His PFF score was 31.
Really?
Yeah.
I would disagree with that one too. I know he had some bad plays, but I thought he had some decent ones. He did get did he get 2 penalties? I know he got 1. Penalties are killers for linemen. Yeah. Penalties kill lineman grades in PFF, both offense and defense. So maybe that has something to do with it. I thought he played better than that. I did.
Yeah, I would say I'm trying to add these in my head really quick. I think that the Lions and the Bears are about equal scoring on their offensive line. So there you go. The Bears O-line looked a lot stronger than I thought. We got Swift and Easy does it, and I saw it earlier too. Don H. Swift can't see the gap that's there for him. He has a little bit of problems. We did really well. Tyleik Williams looked really strong against the run. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't
first drive. He had 2 plays where he contacted the guy in the backfield.
Yeah.
Great.
Not the greatest in pass rush, but he looked really, really strong against the run.
There was no pass rush.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, that's a little bit scary, but
he and Rear together are in there so Davenport and Hutch can shine, and they didn't shine.
Yeah.
And when they blitzed, stop blitzing Jack. Jack Campbell is a very good linebacker. He can't blitz. Stop doing it. Send Anzalone. Send Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes.
Put Stewart in the game and let him. Yeah, Barnes had a good game.
Yeah, that's why
he actually got my post-game game ball from watching it right after the game. I thought he was the best Lions defensive player on the field.
Yep.
I don't know if PFF agrees with that, but my real-time takeaway was that. Although I will say, in watching the tape again this morning, and I watched the all 22 from both the sideline and the end zone, he didn't stand out as much in that as he did on the broadcast. So maybe it was me.
Yep. When you look at the rush game, who was it? I want to make sure I get it in here. The rush game did not stand out, and it's a non-factor. Brian Smith. If I look at their number one rusher was Josh Jacobs with 66 yards. The next highest was 4 yards. 2 players had 4 yards rushing. There was
They had 10 yards on their first 8 carries on the ground.
Yep.
I know that.
Yep. So that's
good defense.
Yep. That feels really, really good from the run game. That means now you've got Caleb, and he's gotta throw the ball, right? Maybe the game plan on defense was we are going to stop the run and make them pass, and Terrion going out and the secondary not being like, how do you get beat deep? Sorry, we're done with the Lions game. We're not doing the recap. How do you have no topside coverage? Oh God.
Why? Just on one other play, the third down conversion, it was 3rd and 7, and Kirby Joseph is lined up. They start and split. He rotates to high, and he is sprinting backwards. He is 27 yards deep at the snap, still running backwards. Where the hell is that in the playbook? And they threw it into the void where he would have been standing if he would have never moved. Again, tip your hat to the Packers for exploiting the Lions' mistakes, but that's the kind of stuff that's going to show up on tape, and Calvin's going to be like, oh, I can't do that again.
Yeah.
He's smarter than that. Kirby needs to be smarter than that. Like, that's one of those where, like, you have to have some level of respect with your coach to say, Coach, that ain't going to work. Now, we've seen how this plays out because Quandre Diggs did that to Matt Patricia, and they sent him to Seattle 24 hours later. That happened. But that's not like this coaching staff will be more receptive to tactical input from the players. And if Kirby sees that that's not a good idea, he needs to feel empowered to speak up on that. And Kelvin needs to listen to him. Because that was dumb.
Yep.
Dumb.
Don H. Is it just me, or was the normal physicality missing the Lions in this game? He looked like the nail, not the hammer. Exactly. That's where, like the Riz's line about the Lions were playing football and the Packers were playing the Lions. That's exactly it. Because the Lions last year beat the shit out of the Packers over and over. And the Packers came out. Remember, the last time they played, the Packers came out and said, "We're not getting bullied anymore, and we're coming out." And then they did, and that taste was in their mouth. I guarantee it. That taste was in their mouth. And the Lions were like, okay, it's week 1. We got to figure this out, shake off some rust, and didn't have that grit, didn't have that beat the shit, bully ball mentality. That's very, 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 very astute, Don. Very, very astute on that one.
Agreed.
That's one thing we need to look for against the Bears is the violence and the violent play, the no quarter, finish your tackles, put them in the dirt kind of football. Keep it clean, but make it hurt. That's the game that the Lions
don't throw helmets.
No.
Don't throw helmets.
Stop.
Don't throw helmets.
Seems like spitting is a thing nowadays.
Oh my God. Don't ever spit on anyone. That's just wrong, man. There's never a reason to spit on someone.
What is going on? Okay.
Ugh.
Okay.
Ugh.
So the Bears. Odunze probably had one of his best games. He looked pretty good out there catching the ball. Some of his routes were a little soft, but he hasn't had some good years. He's had little sparks, but he's not been the player he was supposed to be out of college. And that first game, he looked pretty good. Komet,
that was Caleb.
Komet looking, very like Cole Komet, right? Very.
He's a good player.
Solid,
He's like a combination of Laporta and Brock Wright put together. Like you pull Laporta down, you bring Wright up, and they're Cole Komet. He'd be a welcome addition to my football team.
Yeah.
Not better than Laporta, but he's a good player.
DJ Moore played well, but got beat up. I think.
He did.
I think he got his bell rung. I think a little bit out there,
he's a guy that you can be physical with.
Yeah. So those are the guys that I think are going to do or try to do the most damage to the Lions. I haven't heard anything on Terrion yet on his groin. I've been trying to listen up for news on his groin for a long time.
So the Lions were off today. They'll be back tomorrow. I think tomorrow's coordinator day at the podium, sometime in the morning. By the way, this is a time of year, and I'll just say this as in general. As media, we get 20 minutes to watch practice, and it's them stretching and warming up. That's it. We don't get to see anything tactical. We don't get to see any X's and O's at all. Again, until minicamp. So you might see Terrion. Like you'll see everybody. I guarantee you will be looking at Terrion tomorrow and looking around at each other and be like, "Okay, he's here. Look good," or "He's not here," and that's literally all we'll get. We can't tell if he's able to we just don't get to see it. And that's not just a Lions thing. That's every team.
Mm-hmm.
When I covered the Texans, you didn't get 30 minutes. I think we get 30 now.
Peaceful Tim says we don't get to see it at the games either. That's a good one. Deserved. Good stinger.
That's good. That is deserved.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hope that Terrion's okay because he played well early. He got schooled on the rub route touchdown. I don't think that they handled the transition particularly well, but he's go. It's like basketball. If it's a guy who can drive, you go under the screen. If it's a guy that can shoot, you go over. He chose wrong.
Yeah. Week 1.
Simple little things like that they screwed up on. I didn't think DJ Reed had a very good game either. I expect more out of him.
He had a couple of good plays, but yeah,
he did. He also, his communication with the safeties and the linebackers was poor. And again, first game, first time playing a real team. Okay, let's hope for better.
Yeah.
I hope that he can take it out because his style of play should work very well on Roma Dunze. It should.
Yes.
We'll see. Fingers crossed.
A lot of exciting. Oh, I do have to shout out. We've got one of the best in the DLP universe. Mo from the Creek on the post game show. He calls up just about every week. He's absolutely fantastic. He nailed it. Go listen to it if you want to hear what he had to say, but he nailed it for folks this week. He's on every week. I've got a little something for him next time he's on. I can't wait. It's just a little something special. But post-game shows with Gray and Chris every game after the game. There's another Sunday I have to travel. Don't worry. I'm doing the post-game show and then departing immediately for the airport after the post-game show. So I get in at 1 a.m. so that I can be there for you guys. So there we go.
Do it for the people.
All right.
By the way, just to expand upon around the division, you don't have to wait long to see how well the Packers come out in week 2 because they play Thursday night at home against Washington. And the Commanders didn't really get a big challenge from the Giants. So expect to see that one build as a potential NFC Championship game. The team's on the rise.
I think one of the keys for the game, and I know we haven't gotten to the keys yet, but this will be one that isn't really X's and O's. The crowd at Ford Field is going to be imperative, and I hope that they come in for that home opener just gassed, absolutely gassed. To take it out of the tank from week 1, watching that game, I hope not. I hope the crowd brings it and brings that 200,000 decibel energy and just wreaks havoc on those Bears. I really, really do, because they aren't prepared for that. I don't think that team, I think they're still too young to be able to work in that environment like Ford Field. There's very few environments like Ford Field. And I think that's a huge part of the game. So folks, if you're going to that game, bring your air horns and
bring the energy.
Yeah. Work your lungs. Get those lungs back.
Yeah. Bring your swagger with you. Please.
Yep. Make sure to Jay-Z. Make sure to welcome Ben back. Give him the good old fashioned Detroit. How do you do?
Chris, let's go down a gray path here.
Okay.
Over under number of questions that Dan Campbell gets the rest of this week that aren't about Ben Johnson.
Ooh. I'll take the under, even though I don't know what the number is.
I'm going to say 60%.
Yeah, I'll take the under on that.
Okay.
It's probably close, because it's probably closer to 50%. Like you're thinking like Vegas now, right? Yeah. It's probably about half the questions will be about Ben, because every Bears question is going to be, knowing how Ben Johnson does, what do you think about the secondary? Right?
Exactly.
Dumb fucking shit.
Exactly. Drives me up the wall. It drives Dan up the wall too. He won't say it, but I know it does.
So who's your offensive matchups to watch for the Bears? Who do we have to look at?
I want our corners to play better at the line of scrimmage in coverage than they did. That's not letting Moore and Adunze get free. That's who's the little guy? I'm blanking on him. I am completely off my train of thought. I'm sorry.
You're absolutely guy.
I want to see if you're gonna press.
Yeah.
If you're gonna come up and hit him in the mouth, hit him in the mouth. If you're gonna play inside technique, I'm sorry. If you're gonna play outside technique, let the safety know so he's not also playing outside technique. Terrion and Brian, get that figured out. Lost a very easy interception because he played the wrong technique in relation to what Terrion did. I want to see those little things get out of the way because this you can turn the ball over against the Bears.
Yeah.
You can turn them over.
Yeah. You can't.
But you have to force them. You can't be passive. You got to be aggressive at it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see
cut just like that, though. That's exactly how he's cut.
Yes.
Brian Branch cut just like that. Highest score PFF on the defense, Brian Branch, even with the mistake, which was costly. Sorry. There's so many flashpoints in that game that are just like triggering. You know what I mean? It's not
our best players didn't have their best games, like any of them.
Hopefully, they all got out of the way.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Like usually, Laporta played well.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like the best players didn't. Like, none of them had better than like a B- game.
Mm-hmm. St. Brown played well when he got the ball. I mean, an amazing catch, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he did well, but
that sideline snag was beautiful,
just incredible, right?
I really thought that was going to get overturned, honestly, and then I saw it. I'm like, oh, it's Saint. Okay, I'm going to guess he got the 2 feet in, and he did.
Oh man,
he's so good. He's so good.
Oh, people are asking about what Mo said. Thanks, Wells, for taking it up in the chat. Mo said, "Take an edible and chill the F out." He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
See my friend Big Drew at the gas station in Wayland. He can help you out.
There you go. How close a friend, Riz?
Well, I mean, I used to sit in the radio studio with him all the time. Big Drew from Big Drew and Jim now runs the gas station in Wayland.
Got it.
They don't sell petroleum there.
But they will fill your tank. All right. Let's talk.
I don't do drugs, so I don't know.
Defensively for the Lions, look, Hutch and Davenport have to show up this week. They have to.
Yes.
They have to.
I would argue Reeder does too. Reeder's not a pass rusher. He can't be stopped at the line like all the time. He's got to get some push. But Davenport, I thought Davenport played well early, and I think his game sort of tailed off. Hutch was not great. Again, Zach Tom, that guy played a really good game for Green Bay. Their right tackle, he's a good player. He has worked very hard at getting stronger because when he came out of college, I liked him a lot. But like he has no sand in his pants. He's got to add a lot of strength. It's been 4 years now. To his credit, he's worked at it and he's become a very good right tackle. He's not Panay, he's not Lane Johnson, but he belongs in that next year.
Yep.
He's as good as Brian O'Neill, probably better than Brian O'Neill, who's Minnesota's, and he's pretty good too.
Lee's got my question almost summed up. I wonder what Shep's opinion is on a quarterback spy, since AG was quite opposed to it. If nothing else, Caleb can run. And that goes to my question where I was going to lead it, but we can tie that in with that about Hutch and Davenport. Do they play contain more? Do we have a week where they try to hold Caleb in the box rather than try to put him on the ground and try to collapse around him to get him? Because that can affect those numbers again, and I can see people having a heart attack even if we win. Hutch didn't do anything, and that may not be the game plan for what they want him to do.
Yeah. So go back to when Kelvin Shepard played. What was his best role? QB spy. That's where he was at his best.
Yeah.
I hope that is part of the strategy. I don't know if they will or not, but I hope that that's part of the strategy. And I hope that it's Barnes and not Campbell. I want Anzalone covering. Alex is the best cover linebacker on the team.
Yeah.
I would or Brian Branch as your spy. I think he can do that very well. You'll have to mix some things up behind him. I would actually say, honestly, if Terrion is not playing and Rock or Maddox is in, because they can morph between corner and safety pretty well, I would actually love to see Branch in that spy role. Because I think he's got the athleticism and the death, like wanting to deal death more than what any of the linebackers do.
All right. So from the defensive side of the ball, Bears, what are you looking at as far as key matchups there is?
Block their edges and run at their linebackers. Downhill, David Montgomery, run some duo. This would be a great game to run a lot out of 22. I love 22 personnel with this team. And we saw one snap of it, and it lost yards because so many dumb little, like, why is Jahmyr Gibbs going in motion so late? Like, it because he's moving basically away at the snap, like, the linebacker's like, oh, he's not, I don't have to worry about him. A lot of the little attention to detail minutia things the Lions didn't do very well, and I thought the Packers did a great job of capitalizing on it.
Yeah. Yep.
You gotta do those things better.
I think the noise Chicago probably contributed to that. The noise probably played a role in that, which is why I think
again I'll highlight first game jitters. There's a lot of that. Yeah.
I'll highlight how loud the crowd has to be here in Detroit. So. Okay, let's talk about overall the matchups that are the keys to the game, Riz.
Just go play Detroit Lions football.
Yeah.
And play a game that's designed to play the Chicago Bears and not designed to play the Detroit Lions. And I will go back to when Jim Harbaugh was at Michigan and people didn't like him very much back in 2016, 2017.
And today, they don't like very much today too.
One of the very fair criticisms of him that was levied by a lot of people, Chris Ballas said it all the time. They were very good at preparing against Michigan when it was Notre Dame or Ohio State or Iowa. They're like, oh crap, this isn't who we saw in practice. Harbaugh did get better at that. He did.
Yeah.
I need to see this Lions team do the same because it felt like they were playing against a team that they didn't know what was going to happen. Like, oh, our defense doesn't do that. What do we do? It'd be better than that. And if you do that, you will beat this team by double figures.
Yep. Well, when I look at the line, we have the Lions by 5.5 points favorites, over under at 47, and the money line favorite at -260 with the Bears at +210. So everything leans in the favor of the Lions on the Vegas side, and it was odd because that's how it ran last week it ran against the Lions last week with the Packers, and it seemed like this is going to be some easy money. It wasn't.
No. That's why I don't bet. Don't bet what you can't lose. Put that PDA out there. PSA.
Yeah.
PDA is
something completely different. It was just your anniversary. Happy anniversary, Riz. Did you appreciate the meme?
I did. Yes. Thank you. That was very nice. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Detroit Lions, for ruining my 29th anniversary.
The meme I sent him was a wife sitting there reading the paper saying, "Shall we try Greece for our 10th anniversary?" And he says, "Okay, but what's wrong with Vaseline?"
Yep.
Good times. Good times. Happy.
Yes.
Did you share
Also
it?
have to say,
or
happy
did you keep
birthday
it to
to
yourself?
my daughter. I did show it.
Oh, good
My
for
wife
you.
was
Good
not
for you.
You know my wife. She's
I don't amuse her anyway. I mean,
like, why do you hang with this bozo? Yesterday was also
For the memes, baby.
Monday was my daughter's 17th birthday, so it was a very busy off-field weekend for Team Risen. It was nice. It's very good.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Where you putting your money, Riz? 5.5 money line.
I like the Lions. What's the over/under again?
47.
I'm going to go under. I think the Lions are going to win. I'll take the Lions minus 5.5 and the under on this one.
Okay.
Where are you at?
You're going to think I'm insane. I'm going to say it's the Lions 31-17. And
I know you're insane. So
yeah, you cannot keep this offense bottled up. This is the home opener. There is too much right now. Weight, too much at stake. This team does not play like that. They're going to come back and they're going to run that scoreboard like a gas pump. I think the defense is going to pull it together and have a game. And frankly, I don't think the Bears are equipped to attack this defense, even if they have maybe not the game they had last Sunday, but a game where they're not at their best. I still don't think the Bears are equipped to be able to take that down. We shut the run down, and at receiver and quarterback, I don't think they have the juice to beat our secondary.
yeah, they'll get a couple plays. They will. It's not going to be the end of the world. We'll get more.
Yeah.
This is still a very good Detroit football team. Don't forget that. They won't. Dan won't let them.
Sing it to me, Chris. I need this. You got it, Peaceful Tim. Don't worry. This is the kind of swings that happen with this team, though. And it's like, if you remember, every time they put one of those turds on the table, they come back and they blow up. They absolutely blow up and rebound in such a huge way. And it's truly like a bipolar feeling. You're all depressed. Oh no, it's over. Hutch got injured. Like, oh no. And then the next week they put 1 billion points on the board and they hold him to 0, right? As a matter of fact, they safety him. It's crazy how this works. I just have this feeling in my soul that this Lions team is not what we saw this week, that the soul of the team hasn't changed, and that they're going to go back to being that team that they were. And they just got a wake up call in week 1. That's just how I think it's going to fly.
I'm with you 100% on that.
You loving it?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Oh, yeah. They're not paying for ads yet. We're not loving it. All right. Who would put that shit in their body anyway? Okay, let's talk about... what if they paid me? Don't forget us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. I'm as much a prostitute as Ronald McDonald himself. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. $5 a month or more gets you into the Slack chat, which is absolutely booming. Lots of great chat. A little bit of dust here and there.
This week.
Yeah.
Been great this week. Thank you all for that.
Even with the loss. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's been sensible. It's been logical. There's frustration, no question, right? But it's such a great group.
There's nothing wrong with being frustrated with this team right now.
Yeah.
Such
a great, sensible group of people. Follow us on Twitter at DET Lions Podcast, DET Lion Podcast. Also at Jefe Risdon, Giacomo Risdone, Jeff Risdon. It's down there below his head. I like Giacomo, actually.
I did not know I was Italian.
Ristone. We play with Dan's playbook or Johnny Mo's. A lot more Dan's this week, Ken. Be sure to go to DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Subscribe to the podcast. All the magic happens when you do. And what is the magic, Riz?
I get to come into your ear holes automatically. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. Keep the Q-tips handy. Remember, no pants, no toasters, no hot tubs, and no problems, because we're your Detroit Lions, a Reddit connection. Check out Gray's video today. Bish and Brown coming up. A lot more. We'll see you in the post game as well. Thank you for tuning in. Love you all.